So shall we start with the difficult bit?
And I can remember going to the farm, collecting the livestock. There's so many different things running through my head that morning, but the pain in my head just needed to stop. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I just abandoned the lorry in the yard and headed home. And then I remember being in hospital.
From Sam's despair 14 years ago came a lifeline for other farmers. With his wife Emily, they set up the mental health support charity We Are Farming Minds. Their service is now swamped.
Have you seen a correlation between kind of the government policies?
Yeah, I believe so. We've already had 11 counselling referrals this year alone, which is busy for us. You've got the weather, you know, you've got variance in prices all the time, you've got stock dying, everything's so out of your control, and then to not have the support then of your government is a massive impact on everybody.
So we've been here 9 years.
As tenants on Duchy of Cornwall land, they've got the personal support of their landlord, Prince William. I'm told he's financially helped them, as well as having private meetings and supporting their events.
Have a fantastic evening and know you're all supporting a fantastic cause, and really grateful for all your support.
He certainly doesn't say that he knows everything there is to know about farming, and it's really great to, you know, be able to feed back to him and increase his knowledge as well about issues within the farming community.
It's quite a tricky one for him, because if he wants to be a champion of the farming community, it's kind of in a way setting him up against the government.
I can't comment on behalf of what I know that you put it all aside and there's just somebody there that wants to support farming and the communities in farming, and it's got one of the highest suicide rates of any industry. It's not a job, it's a life, it's a family, it's everything.
But what William is prepared to say on farming more widely right now really matters. He became one of Britain's biggest landowners when he inherited the Duchy of Cornwall, which funds the heir to the throne. Which is why his actions are significant to hundreds of tenant farmers and the wider farming community. I spoke to Prince William on one of his duchy visits, and he told me that since taking it on, there have been certain things that he's wanted to change, which is why you now see this focus on mental health, homelessness and the estate going net zero. But with the farmers and government currently at loggerheads, it is a difficult one for Prince William. He can't be seen to be too political, but as someone who publicly has said they are an ardent supporter of the farming community, there are those who say that he could and should stick his head above the parapet. Gareth Wyn-Jones found time to talk to us despite being busy with lambing in North Wales. One of the leaders of the recent farming protests, he's now got a huge following on social media.
When you speak to a farmer, and his father took his own life the night before the budget because he had the good inclination that this was going to happen. This is the kind of things that are happening within our community. It's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. You know, Prince William has the Duchy of Cornwall now. He's running that. You know, he should be connecting to these people. These people have a duty to the farming community and to the countryside community to speak up for the people that are struggling and suffering.
In Hereford, we travelled up the road where you can see what the Duchy may argue is a more physical form of help.
It's one of the first buildings that the Duchy have constructed under their new protocol of having solar on every new building.
The new grain store helping Phil and Heather to modernise their farm. Recently, they had a visit from William to hear how they're using composting techniques on a bigger scale as part of the push towards net zero and hopefully keeping profits up.
We're struggling now because basically we need to be able to hand this farm over to Monty, and that's incredibly difficult when you've got so many things that are outside your control. I've never been so angry. Half the time I don't know whether to cry or just jump up and down with rage.
The changes in subsidy rules, the changes in national insurance thresholds and the changes in minimum wage. As as far as I can see, they've driven a fair nail into the coffin of many small businesses, which account for some 60% of this country's economy.
Do you feel like you have a real champion in Prince William?
Absolutely, and his father before him. I mean, they both effectively said, if there's anything you think we can do to help, just ask us, because we're here within the confines of our position to do that.
A government spokesperson told us this government is committed to tackling the mental health crisis in our farming communities, also saying more widely, we are going further with reforms to boost profits for farmers. Prince William's backing has been invaluable to Sam and Emily. So has it felt different since son has taken over from father?
Yeah, they're bringing a different feel onto
Yeah,
it.
different
I'm sure.
feel, yeah, 100%.
It's now whether he'll feel able to use his position to spread that support even further. Rhiannon Mills, Sky News in Hereford.